And we hear you. Recap, please.
Recap. Okay, so
Totally forgot what happened.
last session we began in the middle of what seemed to be the end of a fight until Meliodas had his little encounter, or I should say episode, where something seemed to physically trigger. After ensuing a furthermore battle against these blood marauders. All right, sorry for the interruption. And after defeating these marauders, you saved whatever was left of the camp, as far as the tours that had come through and venture off an expedition to the Rune of Thine, where you are currently at the front of what you assume of these ruins. And you tended to the wounded. You've encountered these new creatures, some form that was perhaps feeding, or perhaps just playing coy around what seemed to be the wound of Waynon, the young man that you've been searching for this whole time, and which led you here. And beyond that, you took your rests, and you woke up, or I should say, May was brutally woken by, holy crap, the name escapes me, the dwarf in our party. Doomric. After you had one of your many familiar dreams that keeps reoccurring. You feel yourself being shaked, May, as you wake and you see Thumric. Waynon, have you seen the lad? He's not here. I don't know where he has gone. He can barely walk. Anyone? And he starts shuffling, looking around, see if anybody pretty much answers his call.
Son of a bitch.
So I jump to my feet and I go about like 15, 20 feet around the camp to see if I can find any of like his shuffling tracks to see where they were or where they might be leading to.
Okay. Anyone else? You just Thumric's kind of immediate.
Theo's is helping May.
At this point, you guys notice it's what do you assume daylight of just the overall ambient light that's surrounding you guys. But as you've been in this mysterious forest, it's hard to see through the thick fog, of course. But for some reason, the thick fog hasn't really permeated and less dense around this encampment where these meeker stones are in formation. These green crystalline stones that are in front of what you assume is perhaps the entrance. Anyone looking for or attempting to look, you may do so. Do survival check, May, since you said you kind of looking for tracks, right?
11.
11.
With I was helping her.
You were gonna help her as well.
Yeah.
All right.
16.
Okay, so you get the advantage with 16. Immediately you come upon, both of you come upon what looks like fresh tracks. It looks as you can see, one foot in front of the other, and the other one looks like it probably dragged as it kept left a line through the dirt itself, and it looked like it was heading towards the entrance, I should say. Looking at the map, somewhere around this area, looks like
Is it like a cave, like a dwelling going down underground?
no, it looks like it's pretty much like a lip. It's like 6 feet
Oh, I see.
uh
This here?
platform, and it looks like the tracks stop there.
Quick, gather your belongings. We must make haste. As he starts looking at his gun, making sure everything is in order.
Pack up my stuff.
Yeah, make sure to grab all of my stuff.
You guys can't hear the chickens, can you? Okay, good. Just checking.
Not chickens.
What's
Easy.
going on?
Before we actually go in there, I asked the rest of the survivors if they've actually been into the ruins, if they have any system of like markings in there or a map of where they went so far.
I'm sorry, you were asking the explorers, you saying?
Survivors. Yeah, the
Okay.
explorers.
Yeah, the survivors from the encampment. You see them that they're still kind of in a mode of waking up as you come towards them. They're pretty much trying to figure out what the commotion is. They hear the rest of you kind of waking up in this early morning. Some of them are just barely attentive at
Wake up here, wake up. We have no time for this.
you see one of them.
I'm yelling to the
belongings.
I'm yelling to, like, I'm actually like focusing on the survivors, the explorers to
Right.
wake them up.
Okay, yeah, you get the attention of one of them, and he's just first reaction is like, huh? Are they back? Oh, the savage is back! And he's kind of looking around, like just petrified right now.
No, you're safe. Get a hold of yourself. She may ask a question here.
What are we doing? Why did you just disrupt me? Do we have to leave? Are we in danger again?
I put my hands on his shoulders and just like make him look at me. I just kneel down to him, like, focus. Your friend ran in to those ruins. Do you guys have a map or something for how far you went in, or markings on the walls? Anything like that could help us.
We did have a map, that last that he was with, Trina. I believe she had something, and she went in with some others when we were attacked.
Oh, okay. Do you have chalk or anything that could help us, like, mark on the walls?
I've charcoal.
I take the charcoal from him.
Yeah, he just starts looking through his pack, tattered, but he managed to find it, and he provides it. The rest of you?
Waiting for the rest to catch up. Be waiting. Is there like an opening here-ish?
Say again?
Is there an opening right here? Or is it just all blocked off by
That's just all. This is, yeah. So everything here is all you see here is just kind of like these crystalline stalagmites, kind of just like protruding. Behind it is basically another platform. Doesn't look like there's any doors or anything like that. If that's what you look.
I'm just gonna be waiting by the crystal for the rest.
After I get up and I get my stuff situated, I'm gonna go behind some of the rubble or whatever and situate my clothes.
Okay.
Before prisoning myself.
All right. Just getting ready.
Yeah, my mechanic is getting dressed, and while he's doing so, he's casting detect magic as a ritual.
Okay.
As he does this, he's looking around to see if there's any more
Any more what?
echoes.
Echoes. Okay. All right. Immediately you don't notice anything out of the unusual. Just the dense fog beyond the campsite, and nothing. Moment. You do notice. Everyone actually notice slight tremor. Just start all around, just very faint, but it's very it's noticeable still. It's just a tremor where everything just feels like a growing rumble underneath. Like, where everything just kind of just feels faintly, as if just you feel like a faint rocking motion, like you're in a ship almost. While it's yeah, it's just out of nowhere. You feel like your equilibrium just go through like a slight shift, and then it just goes away.
Feel that, Theo?
I felt it, Millie.
Immediately, like everybody else, kind of starts getting up and just starts wandering. All the rest of the explode. Some of them you see kind of just really confused. Some of them are just kind of putting their gear like in check or just looking through their stuff. Some of them are just kind of in commotion, just talking to each other.
I stand in front of them. And, are you all willing to take care of yourselves? We must make haste for the boy. Or would you rather wait here for us?
We might have to discuss that amongst ourselves. I'm not sure if we're gonna stay around or not.
Well, figure that out. We'll return. We'll come out back here and meet up with you if you have decided to stay here. If not, Godspeed.
You hear
Mila,
he just kind of
Ellie.
nods. You hear Thumric just kind of just shouting out, "Wayne!" He's like just occasionally as he's just trying to see if he can perhaps just reach him somehow. And there's a faint returning shout. Wayne, where are you? And just the response comes again. It looks like it's coming from the entrance of what you assume is the Rune of Thine.
How tall is the crystal? Is it scalable?
The crystal is about I'd say it varies from like 8 to 15 feet, depends which one you're looking at. They are scalable. It might take you a good couple of checks to get through it. But from what May and Theo had found, there was an access point to the on the side that looked like it's probably an easier route to get through or to get on.
What are you looking at, Miller?
I was judging whether or not I could be able to climb it.
You don't need to do that. Just follow me. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Once again, you hear.
And I grab him. I grab like his face. Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to need your flamey sword thing, what you did before.
You want me to cut myself again?
If that's what you have to do, if that's what it takes, we're definitely going to need it. It's quite impressive.
Cutting?
But we need to talk more about that later.
All right. Cutting myself.
Yeah. You begin to hear another rumble begin.
Did I hear the faint calling back of Waylon?
Yeah, everyone at this point they heard the faint okay. Response. Once again, you hear a rumble kind of just coming through. As this time when it happens, the Mikra stones just flicker, see a faint glow that just occasionally just come on and then off.
Can I make an insight check on what that might mean, since I know what I'm very familiar with Mikra?
You don't even have to roll. You're
Just
familiar
tell
with
me,
it
right?
in general. When you know, you, back home in Azari, you know that the Mikra stones are much more, not in abundance, but they're you find what you call live Mikra, which is generally constantly glowing whenever you find veins. So there's other parts in Adonos where you have this dull green color, but Azari is one of the places that you know that they've uncovered this live Mikra.
Well, yeah, I get that. But what does it mean? Is there any meaning to the slight glowing of that? Like, out of
Um,
nowhere.
you this is something you haven't encountered before. You've never seen
Oh,
Mikra just turn on.
perfect. So I'm just fascinated. My scientific mind is in
His
stimulated.
Mechanicus. Oh, I'm sorry.
Say again.
Has Mechanicus's detect magic spell gone off yet?
I'd say you spent like a good 5 minutes into it by now. But this is all happening like within a couple of minutes. If you're still doing the ritual.
Okay, yeah, he's still like muttering it to himself.
Mhm.
He's got all of his clothes on, and he's just wandering around. Like, is there like runes or anything drawn on the ground, like where these tribal motherfuckers were doing shit? Like, does it look like they were doing a sacrifice or some kind of summoning or
Uh,
anything of that nature?
are you gonna do that in tandem with the ritual?
Can I?
Because that would require you like investigation and all
Oh,
that.
sure.
Unless this is what you wanted to do before your ritual. We can do
No, I
that
mean,
too.
if I have to break while he's chanting the ritual, then that's fine.
Okay.
But I figured he would like be chanting it, just kind of
Okay.
like looking around.
Sure. So you're gonna go up to the rest of you. I would imagine you probably just kind of dragged off these marauders. Due to the fact that everyone's pretty much just uh scarred by the situation. All these
Oh
these
yeah, we threw them in the
explorers.
bushes here and wrapped their heads
Yeah.
and stuff. Tried
Um.
them out.
In the immediate area where they were, you don't find anything. But go ahead and roll an investigation now, if you have not.
All
13.
of us, or
Mechanicus said he was doing this, so I don't know if you guys were kind of in tandem helping him. But
I'm just
Mechanicus,
digging through their stuff.
say again.
I'm just digging through their stuff.
Okay, yeah, sure. You're there like with Mechanicus while he's kind of investigating, trying to figure out. Mechanicus, with that 13, you do notice on the blood druid, the main guy was like pretty much doing this blood magic. You do notice that around his body he has these scars, these intentional scars, where they're in a form of runic writing, all around in certain areas, um, and beyond that, you could tell that they look like they're fresh, but at the same time they look like they've been there for a long time. Like they've been open scars this whole time.
Does he have like any kind of like medallions or like
Sure. Okay, so
like
between the two of you,
religious
because
beads and shit?
so between the two of you, since she was looking through stuff and you're doing your investigation, you do find amongst all the corpse. This is all amongst all of them, all the marauders. You find a dagger, which looks like it's coated in what looks like dried blood, and it has a rigid serrated edge to it, on both sides of the blade, and you also find a component pouch. I'm sorry, um, various ingredients of components, probably worth like a good 15 silver worth of components. So it's a decent amount. Overall, you find 177 copper pieces and 82 silver pieces. And you find what looks like a talisman of sorts. The way it looks, it looks like some sort of like symbolic kind of talisman that he wore around, with what looks like it looks like finger bones, like threaded through, like all around.
That sounds dope.
Mike is going to take the components pouch and put it in his, and he's going to like pick the talisman up and the dagger up, one in each hand, and study them.
Okay. You just kind of just fascinated by it, and you're gonna just sit down and take the time to kind of just look at them. The rest of you, I know Theo, May, I believe you guys were at the heels of Waynen, perhaps. I'm not sure what Meliodas was doing.
Yeah, I'm pulling Meliodas towards the area that I saw was easy to access
Okay.
to start inspecting the entrance and get some, just do a little bit of scouting.
All right.
Melly, I need
Yes.
you for a special mission while we wait for the others. Are you ready?
Got it, dude.
Are you guys proceeding?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm inching towards the entrance, but not to stray away from the party too far.
Okay.
Just
May,
kind
your
of the
phone. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm just kind of surveying the entrance and see if I could gain any intel.
All right. You can go ahead and make a perception check while you're doing that. May, what are you doing?
I was gonna head up towards the entryway, making sure that the other two know that, or like, Mechanicus and Jillian were getting ready to follow before we go in there.
Okay. You see Thumric at this point. He's already like on the platform, and he's just kind of looking, and he looks like he's already kind of pushing forward. He's calling, Waynen, and you see him start entering what looks like the mouth of the doorway, this pathway, and right there he just kind of stays right before he enters it. He's like, Waynen, and stumbles out of the mouth of the ruins, I should say. You see Waynen kind of just stumble out, falls to the ground. Thumric kind of holds him, props him up, so avoid having him just kind of collide and like fall to the floor. He's like, what are you doing, mad you are, mad! And he grabs him, tries to pull him towards the entrance of, or basically the area he came through, the platform. He's looks like he's just sweating. He looks pale. I can't leave her back. I can't leave her. Ulrich. She's gonna. He's just kind of faint at this point. Thumric is just kind of pulling him towards the rest of you at this point.
We found him, but it seems that he has love lost. He's lusting for love.
You sure it's his girlfriend?
Yes, I've seen that look in his eyes.
I'm gonna check Waynen to make sure that he's actually okay.
Okay, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
Could I help?
Do you have medicine?
Nope.
No,
I have no idea what I'm doing.
doing a terrible job.
The intentions are good. I speak to the group. Listen all, change of plans. You must all stay here and take care of the young lad while
What?
we go fetch for the girl.
What'd you roll for medicine?
What?
Well, 7 with it. It's either 5 without Meliodas' help, but it's a 7 with his help.
If Meliodas has, if he has
Hmm.
proficiency with it, I'll allow the help. If not,
I don't have
He doesn't.
proficiency with it.
yeah.
I'm just pretending at this point.
So that was a 5. You said?
A fail, yeah.
Yeah.
A really bad fail.
Oh, it was a crit. Okay, a crit fail.
A crit fail.
Yeah, you're. When he came and you see Thumra kind of pulling him towards you, you were kind of just shocked in like the state he was in, and you just kind of just lost all sight of like what was really happening. I guess at this point when he's kind of coming through, and you start trying to look at the wound. He's at this point. You guys bring him back to the camp, and you take a look at the wound, and it looks like it's bleeding. Visually, you can see that it's bleeding again. Looks like he probably just opened it while trying to get up and trying to move.
Boy.
I'm gonna grab my herbalism kit out and try to make a salve for
Okay.
his wound.
All right. Mechanicus. You see, one of the explorers. The older man, who looks like he's struggling at this point. He looks like he's removing like his overcoat. And what catches your attention is the shiny chain, reflective chain that's around his neck. See the links of the chain, looks like a polished copper. But at the middle, at the epicenter, see a platinum medallion. Looks like a really shiny platinum medallion.
He just kind of like looks over at him from the corner of his eye, but he's really focused on this talisman and dagger. Like, is there any like? Do you know anything about these?
You talking to him?
Talking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking to the DM.
Correct.
Okay. You're asking if Mechanicus kind of figure out, like, as he's looking through it, trying to figure out if he senses anything or anything like that, or he can figure out what he's holding. You don't make a history check for the. Make a history check for the talisman.
15.
A 15. You've read about these tribalistic marauders, and you've basically come to the conclusion that they hold a lot of trophy pieces from their victims and stuff. So this definitely screams towards that direction. As you are taking your time kind of going through them and looking at it, though, you do see that there are more of the same type of this runic inscriptions that you saw on his body carved on these pieces of bone. Smaller scale, of course, but they're individually they have a couple of markings here and there that resembles the same type of markings that he had. Beyond that, you're not really too sure, or what significance the talisman has.
I feel like it's like magical. Like, is he detecting anything arcane? I'm just gonna cast detect magic.
Okay. As you do, once again,
I rolled a 6 for the search.
Okay, which you're good. Once again, You cast detect magic, and the immediate thing you see is the the whole forest area, beyond the camp. You see this um reflections of different colors that that notes, depending what type of magic it is, it's flowing everywhere. Not so much in the ruins, but as you eyes do kind of catch these microstones flickering on and off. But as you look at the talisman, uh, nothing, nothing comes from it.
What about the dagger?
Dagger, you look at it as well, and nothing, nothing comes to it as well. What you do notice is, let me rephrase that. Not that it's nothing. You do notice that there's a faint glow on the blade itself. The portions where you see that dried blood is coated on has a necrotic, perhaps like a necrotic state.
So, does it look like the blood has the necrotic state, or it's the dagger underneath where the blood is?
The blood, the area that the blood is coated.
So it looks like the blood's magical.
Right. So, really quick, I'm going to tell you guys. Just before we keep going, I'm going to change the rules for attuning weapons. A slight adjustment. We don't need an overnight, like, examination for any weapons that have, the properties of you attuning to something. If you sit down for like 10 minutes, if in game, it pretty much can get you towards that. Certain weapons is up to my discretion. I'll let you know if like it's not possible to do it within that, but the majority of stuff that requires attunements, easily 10 minutes in game if you could take a break, essentially. This weapon does not require attunement, by the way. As you're examining it, because it's not really that type of weapon, I will let you know what you're holding. You're holding a savage dagger. This dagger coated with the blood, the dried blood. It is with the rigid serrated edges you see on the blade. When you hit a creature or a target with this dagger, they must succeed a Constitution save of 10. On a failed save, the target suffers 1d4 bleed damage at the start of their turn. At the end of their turn, the target must use an action to staunch the bleeding with a medicine check of DC 12. So basically, I will post this right here. That way you guys can have that, and I'll put it in a handout later on for you. The rest of you are pretty
This
much
is really strange. I'm actually taking notes tonight.
And the rest of you, what are you guys doing at this point?
I was finishing his leg,
Whoops.
like
Wait,
putting medicine on his leg.
Theo is kind of trying to corral the sound and more stable explorers here, and trying to inspire them to stay there and take care of the boy while we go and fetch the girl. Trying to motivate them to stay encouraged.
Okay. So you're gonna just talk to just one of the surrounding like explorers here.
Mm-hmm.
Go. You know what? Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
Ugh.
Oh man.
A 1. Critical fail.
Jeez. The one you speak to, he just looks at you. You expect me to stick my neck for that guy? I'm not gonna wait around here and wait for these damn marauders to come back and finish the job. They almost had us once. We're only half our group. I ain't sticking around for that. What do you say? What the rest of you say? And some
When he
some
does
of them
that,
are.
I turn him, I grab him by the neck, I take out my gun, and I'm like, "We saved your life. It's the least you can do is stay here and watch the boy."
Yo.
Okay. Roll intimidation with advantage. He's looking right at the gun, and
oh
he's
wait,
just like,
hold on, that was not what it been. I forget you gotta like.
go and roll another one.
Nice.
At
20.
20. He's right now just looking at the gun. First of all, it's different, right? We have there's guns in Lothesi, there's guns like all over, but yours is particularly different. He's looking at it, and there's a sense of fear and kind of just wonder, but mostly fear. And he looks down at you, looks up. Sure, but one of you's gonna stay and protect us, right? The other guys are just like, yeah.
No,
I'll protect you.
you're going to stay here.
Thumric just stays. I mean, Thumric, you just hear him shout, I'll stay. I have to stay with the lad. They need anyone to help them. I will stay. I can't let them be. And you hear another voice. I'll stay too. As you look at
I'll stay.
Hellscream.
God damn it, Hellscream.
Hey,
Sad.
just I didn't know when I was gonna bring this up, but
Don't you do this to me.
you know the guy that came to check.
What about him?
Well, he's one of the neighboring clans. If they're looking for me this far, might be things I need to. I gotta go back. And I'll be kind of hard and everything, but leave everybody. And needs me. I didn't want to just out. Not after we've been through.
We understand the importance of your clan's rituals and culture. You will be missed. The group of three will be the same.
Oh, not again.
Come on, Theo, not again.
Look, I just promise me, you guys, stay safe, be vigilant.
Remember,
You stay safe. You stay safe, my friend.
Don't expect me to be here when you guys come out.
Sad.
I put my hand on his shoulder, like he's much taller than me, right? I'm like, I see you. Even with the mask on, I see you.
He gives each one of you like one of those like warrior handshakes, around the the forearm grasp.
Nah, he gets a hug.
And
I kind of and I pull I kind of motion to Belly to come over, and we do kind of like a three-way hug, like headbutt, like huddle. Come on, get over here. This will be the last time we do this. We don't know when we'll get to do it again.
Guys.
Doing this.
He's like looking down. I'm assuming Jillian is like hanging on his leg or something. He just starts.
How tall is he?
He's about 7 feet.
Yeah, he's
Woo,
tall.
he's like,
Yeah, he starts patting like your like tuft of hair, even though he knows you don't like it.
he gets 2 pats and that's it.
And before you go, Ellie, maybe you could give us a little loan. You know,
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of short in cash.
How do you expect me to eat fish on my own?
Well, I have one for you. Maybe we can trade.
All right, but this is gonna be what an issue.
Yeah.
All right, let me see what I have. He's gonna pull through his back. You're gonna take all his money.
Yeah.
Reasonably, he's only gonna give you some of its money just for his venture when he goes
Yeah.
off. He has. By the way, just want to give you a heads up. I switched everything because to avoid the confusion. I went to every one of your character sheets and I converted everything back to the normal gold. So everyone should have
okay.
gold. Because I was confusing myself with it too. So I was like, fuck this shit. Anyway, he gives you guys 20 gold.
Okay.
I hand Theo my pouch too, just in case I get robbed or something. You're better off holding this.
Okay. What are you giving me then?
37
20?
gold pieces. And the
20 and what his the silver?
gold pieces. So I'm giving you my 37 plus he's giving you his 20.
Okay.
And then I give Hellscream my perfectly rationed preserved fish.
He grabs
I don't
it,
even know how I got that.
and the first thing he does is just puts it towards his mask, and you just hear him go.
Caught by my own hands.
It's good fish. Nothing like it.
Especially if I caught it. My hands.
Don't make this weird now, Melly.
Mechanicus. While you're there, still inspecting, like during this time, you hear Guildman Vandemol. You reflectively look up, see where the voice is coming from, and it comes from this gentleman that you just saw earlier, kind of struggling.
Do I still see his medallion?
Yeah, he's wearing it right in front of him. You can see it bears the torch and quill on a very shiny, reflective medallion. You see, it's a shorter figure.
Platinum?
Yeah, it's very reflective. It's like it's like almost like mirrored, like because of you can tell the difference from like silver. In front of you, you see a shorter figure, probably just a little over 5 feet. He has a short, ashen, like Caesar cut hair with large on the side, large chops, like thick chops, white. And on his left hand, you see what looks like a prosthetic hand made out of polished wood.
Do I know this guy?
Yeah, you recognize him. He's his name is Roland Hilfengas.
Is that with an H or an F?
Put it for you. Okay. And you recognize him from the guild. He's a former seeker. An old acquaintance, I would say, old coworker who visited your archives occasionally. What a miraculous surprise to see you, so far from the old tomes, no less. What could have brought you so far from the capital?
I decided I would take a vacation, and I ended up here.
A vacation all the way out here? Please do tell.
It is a long story, and unfortunately, I do not have the time.
Please, you don't have to avoid my persistent questions. But hey, been meaning to say something last night. That was quite a display of power. Who would have thought the protege of Aegon Strach was quite a talented mystic? He could have been a useful cohort 40 years ago. Tell me, where did you learn such an astonishing skill?
Golly. It's not too often I'm speechless, so fuck you. It's gonna be the first of many. Mechanicus just stares at him. He doesn't say anything. Like, no smile, nothing. Like, if anybody's watching this, this is the most serious you've ever seen Mechanicus's face.
He just looks at you, and he's smiling with a coy smirk. Relax! He pats you. Relax, mate. You know I ain't gonna turn you in. What do you think I'm here for? Would imagine like yourself, I would prefer to be discreet about our little unsanctioned excursion. Well, just the fact that you wouldn't want to tell me why you're here. I can explain reasons, perhaps. I come and visit, or I should say, revisit the old ruins. As you could say, you remember, well, our last visit here came across some great deal of trouble with the little lurking savages within this forest. It had great set us back, as our resources became very limited, of course. We lost many, helped few fellow guildmen of myself, but of course, I'm here now to help the kid over here. As he you see him gesture towards Waynon. He's like laying down right now with turmeric. And Wesley Kyburn had decided to press on once we arrived. We were young and determined, reckless. Well, you know the rest, as he raised his prosthetic hand in display. I came here because I owed Foreign a debt, and figured I'd pay it by accompanying the kid. And of course settle an old score with the blasted place. Perhaps I will get to relive one last moment of glory before my time completely runs out of my grasp.
Unfortunately, my friend. And Mechanicus takes his left hand and sits it on his shoulder. Your time is drawing very nigh. And then he turns around and he actually walks toward Hell's.
He just walks away?
Walks toward Hellscream. And basically he comes up, gets Hellscream's attention, and taps him and motions for him to follow him away from.
Okay, so you go towards Hellscream, you get his attention.
And then he's gonna bring him like away from everybody.
Oh, you and Hellscream are kind of like just walking.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. At this point, if you guys gonna walk away from everybody, and you want to stay in sight, or you just kind of want to say just away.
Yeah, he's gonna stay like 20 feet away, but
Okay.
he's got his like back to everybody, so I can read his lips or anything.
Okay. Yeah, you get Hellscream maybe a good 15, 20 feet away.
So
listen,
whenever they,
I know you probably a little attached with me right now, but Marty,
I understand that now. Shut up and listen. There is something extremely special about you. I've only encountered it once. I had hoped that we could stay together sometime so that I might learn exactly what it is. Unlike other people, I cannot see your future. There's only been one other, and she was my wife, and I was unable to divine what was coming. I do not know what your future brings, but do take care with your life, because you have a very precious gift that I do not feel anyone alive understands. And then he just turns around and walks off.
Your words honor me. Well,
And
last thing he
as
says
he
to you.
walks off, he walks back to the tribal guy, looks
Tribal?
at the magical
Oh, okay,
blood.
yeah. The dead,
Looks at the scars. He looks at like how he's got this cut scars and everything.
Mhm.
He takes the knife and goes and plunges it in, and then pulls the knife out to see if any blood coming off of it's magical.
Looks like the blood just at this point it's coagulating after a good couple of hours.
But
It's
it
not
hasn't
really
got
bleeding.
that necrotic energy on it.
No, you don't see that.
Jillian's just kind of staring at you.
I think
Like,
we were all
Jillian, yeah, everybody. If Mechanicus,
Someone's
if
school is
Mechanicus
gonna
was
be like
audible
that.
enough, everybody just kind of just look over after he just going, "Bruh," and pulls the dagger out. You hear one of the explorers. I guess he didn't like him too.
Wow.
So
You
with
into that stuff too, Mechanicus?
he turns around, walking back, holding the dagger. He looks over to Hellscream. Remember what I told you. Be very careful. And he walks past the group, and as he passes Meliodas, he just kind of tosses the dagger to him. Says, be careful. I do not know if that one is magical, like the last one. And then he's going to start making his way toward the thing for the kid.
The thing to the what?
This
girl.
way.
The
Okay. Towards the platform.
But they're like, we're still looking. Or wait. Did we find the boy that we were sent to find?
Yes.
Yes.
Or the guild guy?
No, Waynen. You did find Waynen. The guild guy was just one of the explorers that you didn't notice. That was.
Yeah, but we had met the guild guy in town, and we were come here looking for his son.
Yes.
Did we find
Foreign? Foreign was the other guild guy, who used to also be a seeker.
Mm-hmm.
You just met Roland.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Foreign's son was.
We
It's
found
Waynen.
his son.
Yeah, Waynen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wayne's his son. So
Yes.
Wayne come back out of the ruins.
Right. Right now he's being tended to.
Okay.
Which May right now just go ahead and roll another medicine check with advantage with the salve. Good thing you had that advantage. That was a 15. Another crit fail. Yeah, you redress his wound. You can see it's not terrible, but you can tell it just started leaking again, and slight parts of it just opened, which led to just bleeding again. And the rest of you?
I'm going back to Melly, Otis, and getting ready to go after the girl. I guess at this point, Mechanicus is meeting up with me and Meliodas.
Yeah, he walks up to him and just kind of looking into the inside of these rooms.
All right. So you guys are pretty much gathering and prepping. You see Roland come back towards you again. Mechanicus. Ooh. This time he's just kind of he comes towards you and goes, "Hey, Mike, or say Guildman Vandermolt. I did forget you. perhaps give you a little send-off. Would you be so kind to accept this? You might just have a better use for this scene. He uncovers a black shiny box, about 10-inch wide, and he just displays it, and you can see on the front of the box there's 3 small sliders, like little sliders, so you can just kind of adjust. They're all like at the starting point of the slider. Provides it to you. We came across a peculiar merchant on the road about a 10 day ago. He said it's called an apprentice tether box. Said he couldn't sell it since the heightened inspections at the major marketplaces. Supposed to be some sort of learning tool for mystics and all. Said he traveled to the Shattered Seas himself and found his way to Nabad. All the way to Nabad. Maybe that's what I'll do after this. Travel the regions. Anyway, thought you probably have better use for this than, you being some sort of mystic. I don't think I'm going to be going in there.
If you call me that again, I will turn you into a frog.
Make an intimidation check.
Would it be an intellect intimidation?
He looks at you.
Can I stand behind him and help?
Hey.
14.
14. You didn't even have to.
Theo just puts his hand up. Let the old man fight his battles.
Hey,
He's got this.
Vandermont, not fighting words.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time understanding. Ribbit.
Take it.
Do you understand?
Just take it. He just gives you the box.
And he's gonna fake a spell. Alright, try speaking now. It was taking effect too soon.
If you didn't take it, he places it on the floor and walks away.
Be wary. I don't know how long you have. And he picks it up and y'all hear that gullible shit.
Theo can't help but to chuckle a little bit. Kind of too proud to show him that he amused him.
So in your inventory, if you're gonna take it right now, put you have that's his tether box.
Ka-shing.
Does he know anything about these?
You know what? Roll. I'd say roll a Arcana check right.
Yeah, you know that shit. You know it.
What you get?
15.
Oh, 15. Okay, yeah. First thing you do when you pick it up, you start examining it. You look at the little sliders on the front. You move one of them slightly, move the other. Just kind of mess around to see what it does. Immediately, you see an aura circulating. Very faint aura. If Jillian, if you are watching him, you see it too. May, you see it too. It's a faint aura coming from the box. The rest of you know. You don't see anything. And when you start adjusting the sliders again, you see the aura change. The aura starts to morph. Doesn't do anything. But as you're there playing around with it, it looks like you fine-tuned all 3 sliders into perfect pitch, where the aura becomes sharp lines of thread, floating thread. It looks like spider web, like a loose spider web in the air, but thicker, like thicker forms of it, and it's bright. It's brighter than it was, and it originally was just like this faint glow, but now it's a bright thread kind of flowing from the top of it. You see this thread. You're in front of it, and it almost feels like you can not just reach it, but you could kind of feel its essence. Like you can perhaps grab onto it.
I'm gonna grab onto it.
You pull. When you do so, you don't do it with your hands. You don't do it physically. You just look at it and you picture yourself pulling that thread. And with what you feel with whatever innate ability of however you connect yourself into this arcane energy, you feel it pull with that energy you have. Everyone else that can see it, that disappears. The thread disappears. You don't even see it anymore. And Mechanicus, as you pull, you feel it. You could feel it right now. You feel like you're tethering yourself into something. You feel tethered to this box. And as you're tethered, you have the sense of, hey, this box is actually allowing me to do something. Allowing me to activate something. Like you feel that intention.
Like I feel like I can cast something?
You feel like you can activate something. Like it's there, idle. Like the intentions of activating something just feels idle as you're tethering to this box. You could see this force. You could see this force. Like if you're holding the box towards you, you could see this force, this tethering line. As a box in front of you, you feel it. You could see it coming towards you into the box.
Man, I don't know if there's some like cool thing I'm supposed to do. This is my first caster. But let's just pretend I did it.
In my travels, have I ever seen something like that? Like with
roll a history check with
roll
a history check with advantage.
16.
A 16. If you're looking at Mechanicus right now, and you are, because
oh yeah, he's being weird.
Yeah, exactly. You are aware of the tethering. It has to do with the fact of the people. This is a form of it's an arcanic art which allows a caster to link themselves to anything and sometimes anyone through a temporary bond. The item or person can broadcast themselves. And it allows someone with the art to tether that person. It only happens within a certain amount of distance. You are aware of this, and this is something that you use within your groups that you've been to hide secret information. only casters that are aware of this can use this form of linking to uncover certain things that are hidden away. Non-magical people that you're aware of don't see it. They don't see this. They don't see this thread that that um that manifests.
So,
Only those sensitive to the arcane energy can see the tethering threads when they are broadcast, and only those who are linked can see the tethering bond between the two. For instance, right now you stop seeing it as soon as Mechanicus bound himself to it. That he's tethering right now, and it disappeared to you. The same thing with May. You don't see it as well. And you once you're tethered, every tethering item is different in forms of like you have to activate something once you're tethered.
hey, old man, what you got there, bud?
It's none of your business, child.
Oh, cool. You feeling anything when you hold that? Looks a little weird. You seeing anything?
He
Hearing
looks at her
anything?
suspiciously. What is it that you know?
I mean, not much, but it looks a little weird. You should follow the journey. It's like mushrooms, man.
It's like mushroom. Go with the flow, man.
I mean,
Don't-
I'm just a kid.
don't
I don't know
resist.
anything, but do it.
He's gonna do it.
Mechanicus says you're there holding this box, and you can see and feel this link between this item where you connected to.
I'm gonna be like leaning in, like kind of like how somebody does over a phone call, like leaning in.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna be doing that to him.
And as you concentrate and you feel that invitation, the invitation of the item to activate, and you pull on that thread to activate, and then you hear a click, and the box opens. In front of you, you see underneath this silk, kind of just wrapping. As you open whatever the silk is covering, you see what looks like thick, about 7 inches, very ornate designs. Looks like a wand.
Ooh, it's a pretty stick you got there.
Is my detect magic still going?
How long does it last?
10 minutes.
Sure. As soon as you open it, you feel the enchantment in that wand.
Can I tell what kind of magic it is?
I will provide you information. Whatever the school of magic is magic missile, because you have a wand of magic missile right in front of you. I didn't put that down. Terrible DM.
I
I
think
think
it's
it's evocation.
evocation, yeah. Evoke.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Put some.
Now, so does Mechanicus like know that this is a wand of magic missile, or does he just know it's evocation?
You feel the evocation coming from.
So he doesn't know exactly what it does.
No.
He's gonna just pick it up, look at it confused a bit, shake it a bit, and then like kind of just like do this number at a tree to see if it.
You pick it up, and I mean, you've read what one. you understand what they do. You understand the what possibilities or destructive natures some of them can do as well. In your readings, it's pretty common that mystics, mages have wands sometimes. Don't know what type of wand it is though.
Is there like any kind of runes or something on it that he might be able to make out?
No, just very ornate, like um decorations on it, on the handle. It's like a pale blue color.
He's going to just hold it out and like focus on like one of the boxes or something and just like try to control.
Sure. You expended one of the charges as you just cast a magic missile. Just whatever you were just. It goes magic missile right there. Is it? Is that the one? Yeah, there he goes.
Great, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so 1d4 force damage just appears, and you see this dart rush out as you hit your target. Exactly where you wanted it to hit.
Does it seem like whenever he did that it lost any of its magic? Like basically, did it use a use?
You still feel that it's enchanted, but you didn't feel like it lost sense of it from like your detect magic. That's what you got.
Jillian,
Okay.
cheers.
All right, so
Everybody in the camp was like, "Whoa!"
Damn.
he quickly like puts it in one of the inside pockets of his coat, and then like eyeballs Jillian, and then pulls it out and shoves it into his shirt after eyeballing Jillian.
It's probably for the best.
All right.
Now forget you ever saw that child. No.
Saw what?
He just looks around at everyone and looks at Roland. And as he looks at Roland, he mouths Ribbit.
He looks away. He's sitting down right now, and he's kind of just. He looks nervous. Yeah. You got him. Looks pretty nervous. He's an older guy. He's not as old as you, but you've seen older people, like, with some sort of dread hanging over them, happening right now.
So he looks around to everyone and then to Theo. So what is the plan? What do we do now?
We're going after the girl. She's this way. And I point up towards the walkway, kind of to get to the ruins.
You guys need me to scout ahead.
It looks like you're armed and ready to go, man.
Yes, watch out with that dagger, though. There's something peculiar about the blood that's on it.
I'll try to be careful.
You can do it.
Do it.
What do you say?
Sorry. Yeah, I can't help myself.
Do it.
I was trying to link the wand of magic I misheard.
May, are you done with the boy?
Yep, just finishing up. I pack up my listen kit and join the rest.
All right. Excuse me. Yeah. Right before you leave him, he's faintly still. That came from. Is that me?
What was that? Well, that's me.
Oh,
Air
okay.
beeping.
Yeah, I thought it was a freaking fire like
It
alarm.
might. I gotta go check it out. Be right
Oh,
back.
okay. I mean, really scared just for a second. All right. He looks at you, man, and he grabs you gently as you're about to walk away. I have money. I have money I can pay you if you go for it.
I grab, I put my hand on top of his hand. I'm like, I don't need your money. We're gonna go find her. Um, I hopefully she's alive. I can't guarantee it, but we're gonna go in there and try to find your friend. You just stay here with them, and just get better.
I'll look after the lad. You ain't escaping me this time. As you see Thumric sitting right next to him.
I just pat his hand. I'm like, we'll try to be as fast as we can.
You just see him kind of close his eyes. At this point, it looks like he's he looks like he's like about to go into rest.
I looked at them, and like, keep a better eye on him this time, and then I'll catch up with everyone else.
To the rest of you guys, you see May coming back towards you as she finished tending to Waynon.
How's the kid? Is he all right?
Yeah, he seems like he's wore himself out, so he's getting ready to sleep. It just looked like he reopened his wound up a little, but it should be fine.
Around the camp, is there any like old blankets or anything?
Yeah, there's a couple of them you can find.
Okay, Mechanicus is going to grab him, and he's got a small knife. He's gonna start cutting like strips, about say 5 to 6 inches wide, the length of the long length of the blanket. And he's gonna like, I don't know, cut like 2 blankets up, just like that, into these strips.
Okay.
And then he's going to take one of them and wrap it around the end of his quarterstaff. And he's going to snap his fingers and say "Presto," and set it on fire to use as a torch.
All right. As you have your makeshift torch, and everybody sees Mechanicus right now with a nice flame coming from a stick.
Good thinking. This would be useful.
Pulls
Yes.
out his hooded lantern.
Jess, I linked the page for Magic Missile Wand. That wand. I'll put it into a. When I get the chance, I'll put it into a handout. Just
I've already got it. It kind of prints almost as a handout, and I'll just copy and paste them out.
Okay. All right. Just checking. Sorry, guys. Go ahead. Cut you off as I was speaking amongst each other.
It looks like we're ready to go. Hurry on. We must make haste.
Boom. Another trembling sound. And once
Yeah,
again, you feel that just that your equilibrium kind of just shifts, where you kind of feel like you're getting that slight dizzy feeling for a split second. And once again, it feels like there's a shift going on. Mechanicus, while you're still having, at this point, you're just at the very end of the 10 minutes of the detect magic. You see the flicker happen once again, The flicker, you're good. The flicker stronger during the tremor. But everybody else, they can see the glow, just the faint glow of the Mikra, and then it goes away.
There it is again.
No, it's quite peculiar. I'm more intrigued to go in there. All right, so I start like power walking there with my gun
I'm
out.
not worried about traps.
While we're
Haven't
walking
walked
in,
in yet.
Mechanicus is gonna start the ritual again to renew detect magic.
Okay, so you're gonna do ritual.
Yeah,
Alright, so
he's just while we're walking, he's just chanting. And as the torch gets low, he's gonna pull another strip out and keep wrapping it.
so the ritual requires you to do like runic symbols on the floor.
Oh,
So
I
you
got
can't,
you.
yeah, you can't walk and create the
I
ritual,
got you.
unfortunately.
Okay, never mind.
You would have to take. It's
Oh.
like basically you're taking like a 10-minute break to like
Gotcha.
to achieve that.
Gotcha.
I'll walk over to Mechanicus and give him my hooded lantern and the flask of oil.
I've already got a light. And he like holds the torch up to Meliodas like he can't see it. Do you not need that one?
We're better in the dark anyways.
Oh, I'll
It's
take
totally
it.
a lie.
So oh, are you lying?
Yeah.
Yes, give it to Theo. He probably would need it more than
I don't know if you're lying, but I was just yanking from your hand. Let's go.
Who gives, man? Alright.
And you guys, at this point, your party members climb the edge on the platform, and they start walking towards the mouth of the ruins of Thine. As you now are finally here, you see the impenetrable blackness in front of you. There, at the cracked ancient stones that still stands are covered in vines, moss. We're gonna take our 5-minute break, guys. Remember.
Woo. Damn. Just was getting juicy.
I know, it's like pretty good tonight.
Let's go. All right.
All right.
I'm timing it. Let's go.
I'll be
Time it.
back.
I can't hold it any longer.
Check this out. Phone case. Blue. You can't really see it. You see it?
What am I seeing?
Oh, hold on. Bright. So it's a phone case, but it kind of glows. See it?
Whoa.
Oh,
That's really
Huh?
cool.
I see some titties.
Yeah.
You
That
calm
was
it down over there.
I saw some titty toe.
Titties.
Oh man, I was not even looking at that.
Oh, you want to see titties again?
Lies.
So the
Titty.
what? Is it
It
water?
looks like
that's
she's like
glowing?
in a bath.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool as shit though.
How does that work?
It's like a little plug here. Plug it to
Uh,
the phone, and then whenever it moves.
oh, so you charge the phone and that?
Yeah, you can do it. Oh, you don't really charge it. It just runs off the phone's battery.
Oh,
like
okay, all right, yeah. It's got like a
1%.
symbiotic relationship with the battery. Sexy, literally
You
and
can see
figuratively.
nipple if you look close enough.
Oh my goodness, a nipple?
2 of them, half covered.
Well, that's nice.
Whoa.
Well, he needs a little half cover. That's all. He does the job.
So just a little bit of an areola. Just a little an areola slip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like half slip.
uh all right. Everyone is back. So What is the marching order as you proceed through this old passage? It's about the passage itself as you're going through. It's about 10 to 12 feet wide. It's not you're not going to be like in a singular passage. But what's
Okay.
what we have for the
2 by
marching
2.
order?
Sending Meliodas in like first to scout it, wasn't that the idea?
I'm gonna die.
Well, he just gave it. He gave me his
Yeah.
lantern, so
Oh,
Yo,
if he
well,
doesn't need it, I mean, I thought it would
What's
be.
the
I
light
think
situation? Yeah. Is
I would have figured it
pitch?
was
It
between.
is dark. It's dark.
Alright, give me it back. I need it back.
Yeah.
whenever we were at the pool with the glowing fish,
Uh-huh.
how bright did they glow?
It was faint. They didn't glow like nowhere near like a lantern or something. It was a very
Were they like
faint glow.
5 foot of
Think
light or something?
think of like you know the little glow stars that you put in your wall?
Oh, I
Oh.
got
It
you.
was like that. It was like super faint. They don't really give off too much light, but they're
Gotcha.
illuminescent, I would say.
Gotcha. Okay.
So as we got in, Meliodas, do you take the lantern back?
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay. I let him take it back. I'm just sticking next to
Let's do this.
Mechanicus.
On the page, going north. You're traveling. Let's say you're traveling north. Go ahead and place yourselves like you would, in a formation.
Traveling north. All right. Well,
Like if you're traveling north.
Is holding his stick in his
I'm
left
with it.
hand, and he's holding it like up high above everybody's heads, so that like we can look straight without blinding everybody with the light. And
Okay.
it also, Meliodas doesn't have a shadow casted in front of him because it's over his head, so he get a light up.
All right. Yeah, and you guys are probably like maybe like a good couple of feet from each other.
Okay.
That way you guys can travel without bumping in, I would imagine.
as
Mechanicus is also got his right hand on his wand because Jillian's really close.
yeah. When Meliodas takes the lantern from me, I kind of then shove him. You're going first, then. Let's go.
Alright.
And I'm behind him with my gun. I got
So
your
is-
back.
Is Mechanicus his torch like how far in front of me is it lit?
I believe it's what 15 feet. Torch.
And you got your lantern.
40-20.
I'm not lighting
Wow,
it.
bro.
though. Oh, you guys want me to go like far ahead? Is that what we're doing?
We want you
Yeah.
to just explore it by yourself, then come back and let us know if it's safe. Then we'll go.
No.
To go off to my death?
No.
Additional. Okay, so yeah, it's a 20-foot radius.
Nice.
The light is bright enough for 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet. So 20,
it's a
20 the
40.
first 20 feet is pretty lit up. Beyond that, it's dim light 20 feet from
Ooh,
there.
actually, I have a potion of cat's eye.
Oh, that's right.
So I can like see in the dark. If you guys want me to use it.
Holy crap, I gave you that a long time
That's
ago.
right.
I also have 4 flails of unidentified potions.
Oh gosh.
I don't know how we
Well,
got
you know
that.
what you have.
Wait, what was that again?
Yes.
This is potions, 4 flails.
He said
you remember?
unidentified.
And it's unidentified, I think.
Wheels?
Files, sorry.
Vials.
Oh, you got
Vials.
4 vials. You just don't know what they
Yeah.
are. Okay. Okay, so those are vials of things you're not sure of.
Yeah.
Would be
Never
anything.
really-
Yeah.
Yeah,
alright.
Use
really
what
never
you
took the
know.
time.
Okay, but
Yeah,
you do have the cat's eyes.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
30 feet of darkness. I drink it.
Now would be a good time to use that.
What if we need it later on? You know what? Screw it.
We need it
Why
now.
don't you wait until we find out if there's something in you?
Good idea. See, Theo? That's why. He's old and wise.
You can see 10 feet in front of you. Move. And I kind of shove him.
All right, I'll start sneaking.
All right.
Want me to roll stealth?
Yes, please roll a stealth. And if everybody else wants to be quiet, perhaps you might want to roll a stealth as well.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh god, 5 minutes.
Holy
Freaking Bay
crap.
rolled higher. Oh,
That's a
geez.
9.
Please tell me your. Please
Even
tell me your
though
rolls.
I'm
I crit-
naturally
I
stealthy.
crit that.
All right. All right. Misty, what'd you get?
I got a 9.
You got a 9. All right. May
19.
19. Theo
23 crit.
a crit. Meliodas
13, lucky number.
and Mechanicus
17.
17. As you guys walk through this darkness, you feel yourself walking at this point to a descent. As you notice the musty smell as you push on, you can make out little of what remnants of the Ark'Azian architecture that still exists. You see the faded striation, delicately placed flourishes as the lights coming from your torches or lantern cast shadows. Stone floors are still barely intact. Excuse me. Maybe another 3 or 4 minutes, and you reach a section in which looks like a cave-in blocks your path. Looks like it could have been fairly recent, perhaps.
So there's like one way to go and it's blocked.
Right.
Oh man.
You look around, there's no other corridor, there's no other doorway. The cave-in doesn't look like it's like you have a lot of rubble. It's more like large pieces that had fallen.
Like, is there any part of it where like one giant rock blocked off like half the hall, but it's just one big rock?
You know what? Go ahead, and whoever's looking through and trying to figure this out, go ahead and roll a perception check.
I think we're all kind of trying to figure out.
18.
18 Mechanicus.
Okay. I want to.
16.
16.
17.
All right.
All right. Oh, that's good rolls, guys. Meliodas,
Just as
12.
we're walking, I'm
Oh, your
walking
mic.
X with
Oh, your mic, Kim.
Oh, I can't hear her now.
No, I can't hear.
Can you hear
Yeah.
me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I'm sorry. As we are walking in here, I've been marking an X on the left side of the wall
Okay.
to indicate whenever we do exit, it's going to be on our right hand side.
Okay,
showing
yeah.
us the right way
So with the
forward.
charcoal, every other 15, 20 feet, you just kind of
Yes.
marking an X. It'd be like Pan's Labyrinth. I mean, Labyrinth itself is going to have like a little creature come out and like flip it over.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, May, you go ahead and you kept doing that. From the rules, perception rules, I got an 18, a 16, and a 17. May, Jillian, and Mechanicus. As you guys are kind of just looking around, inspecting, and trying to figure out what lays before you, you find all of you end up looking, and you can see what looks like a passage where the cave-in area like meets at the wall, which looks like it was like naturally created, like cave-in. Like there's a little area where you can possibly squeeze through. Possibly.
Is it like a big rock blocking it, or is it?
I mean, there's
multiple
chunks of like stone and what
I
looks
mean-
like part of the architecture that's like, you know, kind of like holding certain parts together.
Can I squeeze through it?
You can squeeze in fairly well for everybody else. Maybe if Hellscream was to go through it, it'd probably be a problem.
Okay.
So what's the plan?
It's only one way to go.
Through the
Let's
hole?
go. I
Going
shove
through
him
the hole.
through the
God.
hole. Go.
I'm going. Crawls through the hole or attempts to.
Okay. Go ahead and
I'm
roll.
crawling right after him.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity check, just to kind of avoid bumping, maybe, or just putting. So, you basically want to try to avoid as you're going through. You just look like I better not shift anything while I'm under there.
Jeez. All right, I rolled 21. He rolled at 18.
Okay, both of you managed to get through easily. You guys kind of shimmied through, avoided any areas where you think might be weak on whatever's holding these
What do I
things
see
together.
on the other side now?
I'll get to you in a second. And the rest of you?
Well, I was gonna try to tell him not to come.
Mechanicus is waiting to hear what.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah, I want to make sure what everybody else is doing. That's before
What
I.
is it you see, Theo?
I'm looking.
You have the lantern.
Look,
You have the lantern
Master.
with you, right?
Yeah.
That
I'll light it up.
Light it up.
So as you reach the other side, you see the same main corridor that you were on, which continues down on this decline, on this slight decline. The first thing you notice is how much cooler it feels as you burst through the cramped passage. But what catches your attention the most are the stone walls, which appears to be in a well-preserved state. You can see the artistic details left behind the walls with expertly crafted, smooth gray granite, like brandishing, like this faded, like obviously gold inlays. Every 15 feet or so, you see a spire, kind of like against a wall, like a stalagmite spire of Mikra, just kind of like positioned. It looks like they built around it, like strategically. You see the dusty cobbled floor, which at this point is placed perfectly uneven parts. With every footfall that you kind of just like look down, you basically see the preservation of what you think the Ark'Azians have. And the corridor looks like it continues further down, though. Light
Okay.
up section.
So I kind of poke my head into the opening and I say, it's all clear. It's beautiful, but it's all clear. And I extend my hand out to help out. How long is the crevice, or how deep?
It's a good. You would need to like go in there and help someone. It's probably like just under 10 feet in length.
Okay. Okay.
Scooting along.
As he's doing that,
I will shout motivating words to you.
That's my job.
can you do a history check on those artwork on the walls while he's helping the others through?
The walls. It's not about like a. If you're thinking it's like a mural or anything, it's not. It's just like the art form of the architecture itself.
Oh, okay.
And the rest of you who are going to go through, just go ahead and roll a dexterity check.
Scoot.
With advantage for the little one.
Is that rocks falling?
10.
18.
10.
Advantage, right? Because Theo's helping?
What's the order that you guys are going at this point?
Mechanicus, Julian, and then May.
Okay, it's just in that order. Okay, yeah. So, Mechanicus, you go in there. You start crawling, pulling yourself with your arms and trying to shimmy your way through. As you get halfway through, your elbow flips this one section, and you just hear. You feel and hear everything just shift for a quick moment, and you just see dust fall down. Dust kind of cover you a little bit. Nothing happens after that. It just a moment of hesitation where you just thought you just pretty much saw yourself go, and then you just press on, and you manage to get to the other side.
Get him out. Yeah. That was close.
When you're at my age, a lot of things are close.
Jillian, you just hop right in, nimble. Just you're
Scoot.
you're
like a
basically
spider.
going. Yeah, you're going in.
Yeah.
You're walking in there with a crouch, if anything. Like once you get through it, get right out. Your hair barely even touches. Your poofy hair barely touches anything as you. May, same thing. You go in there, you pretty much feel confident that you see the rest of your party members go through, and when you're in there, just hear rumble and a shift again as you see the rocks start. Parts behind you just look like it's starting to close. You see dust kick up. You just manage to get out right on time as you see portions of it just start caving behind you.
Yep.
But we
Yes,
can't
sir.
go that way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it looks like our fate is sealed, literally.
It'll be okay. I can get us out of here if needed.
That's comforting to know. I turn around. I'm just kind of admiring the artwork and just the pristineness. It's pretty awe-inspiring. I'm just very. What was that?
You hear that?
Who's there?
Sorry, I have
Alright.
all these sound effects in the background.
Oh,
Ah!
I was like, what the hell?
So I'm
Pardon me,
admiring.
that ration I ate isn't settling with my stomach.
Well, at least your stomach's kicking. That's good.
Does Mechanicus recognize anything about the architecture? Like how old it is, or
Sure, go ahead and roll a history
who
check.
did it? 21.
21. Holy crap. Good one.
nice.
You, there goes a scream again. Sorry, guys. I should take off that distant
Ignore the
screams.
screams. Ignore
Yeah,
the screams.
I'll take it off. I just noticed I had it. All right. Mechanicus says you start looking at the architecture to analyze on your fingers. You immediately recognize the forms used and the techniques used that you've come across in books explaining about the architectures of the ancients and how advanced in certain aspects of their technique that we still use today, that they've had for over thousands, like over more than a millennia ago. Familiar territory from what you've read. Nothing sticks out, nothing out of the ordinary. That it's definitely all there. And you see it right now, and it's probably at its most preserved state that you've probably have ever thought of.
This is an extraordinary find. Extraordinary. Dagon would be very pleased if he could see that.
I agree.
And you guys continue down the decline.
Yes. I shove Meliodas again.
All right.
Let's go.
You guys go back into your formation and in marching order. start walking down the decline. A few minutes pass as the flooring starts to even out. You felt like you probably went down maybe a good um, maybe a good 6 stories down from the decline, from the travel, just having on this. You approach an opening to what looks like a larger corridor. Like it's like you guys were like in a 12, like a 10 by 12 foot corridor. This one feels like it feels like you're like entering a larger portion of it. You can see the walls, sconces, um, dimly lit. Like it's like certain embers, or what you think look like embers, kind of lighting certain parts of the corridor. The section is not as finely crafted as the former, but as the first thing that catches your eye is the amount of debris at this point scattered all over the place. You can see like some portions have like webbings here and there from like just of perhaps of how long it's been, with you had possible critters that had dwelled within here. The air is starting to get like more in a dusty state, moldy scent. A couple more minutes pass as you continue down and come across a tattered backpack. First thing you see, perhaps maybe like a good 15 feet walk. Melilia.
Cautiously approach it. Do I see anything like poking out of it? Or...
Sure. As you'd say you walk like maybe like another 10 foot or 5 feet, like getting closer to it. You're saying, um, you right away you noticed, with the light, you could see what looks like a dark stain, uh, smeared on top of it. That through and as the light shines a little more, you could see what looks like a red, like a like a dark red handprint smeared across. What catches your eye too is that there's like a blue faint wisp of light bleeding through like ripped sections of the bag.
So there's like something glowing in the backpack.
Right.
I'll look back at Theo. Check it out.
It looks interesting. What's the matter with you? You scared?
No, I just don't want to die first.
I go towards it. I kind of take out my scimitar and just kind of like poke at it to see if
Sure.
I can lift the flap.
Right. Yeah.
Open.
Sure. There's a flap kind of like adjusted, like just scattered on it. As you just flip over the flap, and you see the aura just emanating from it, much more stronger than just having a closed flap. And you see what looks like a bluish, like the edge or like a corner of like what looks like a blue vial.
Corner of what?
You see like portions of a vial, like a with a bluish light coming.
All right, I put my scimitar away, and I grab it.
Okay. So you're gonna go inside the bag and start looking through it, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you get in, you get towards the bag, you open it, and you actually reach in there and start investigating what's inside. You see a vial about, I'd say about 3 inches tall, and has a liquid, bluish in nature, and it gives off a faint glow. Very similar to the faint glow you've seen at the little creek from the fishes.
Oh.
You also find a rope, find a hammer, find like a crusty chisel with it. It looks like it's been used many times. And you also find a revolver.
Oh,
Hmm.
nice.
You find a 6-chambered revolver.
6 chambers. Um,
Very small piece. I would say very small in design from your weapon, and the
mm,
weapons that your culture manufactures.
okay. I definitely I take everything. Um,
All
and I
right.
kind of just look back. It's like, just some poor man's leftovers. There's this blue vial here. I kind of just show it. Uh, do you know what this is, old man? I show it to Mechanicus.
Do I know what it is?
You've never seen this blue vial before, but or bluish liquid, I would say. But as the similarities from what you encountered in that creek, it does bring you back to that. And what you have
Of
in your
course I know what that is.
and what
Do
you
you
have,
remember the
you
small
still have.
fish from the creek?
You still have
I
them
don't
in
know.
your.
Look at this. And I open my water skin and I show him the fish swimming around in my water skin. There's 5 of them. What someone has done is taken these things and mashed them into a paste and then shoved them in a vial and filled it with water.
Sure, all that makes it glow like this?
You're
Look at
saying
the
that's
fish, they glow.
you're saying that's fish paste?
No, I'm saying it was fish paste. Now it's watery fish paste.
So I undo the vial and smell it.
Can I smell it too?
There you go.
It has a small caustic smell to it. You feel like that burning sensation in your nose, like if you're
Hmm.
sniffing on like really hard liquor.
Like, oh, like hard liquor.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm. I dip my pinky in it.
You dip your pinky in it. You see a little bit of that glow liquid on it. Nothing happens to your finger.
I taste my pinky.
It's hard. It's hard to imagine. It's very much like the likes of hard liquor, but an earthy.
Do I feel any different? Any?
No, because you do not have mana.
Oh, hey, it's. What's
Ugh.
up?
Ah, here we go. You take this.
You have yourself a small potion of mana. It is
You gave it to me?
whoever took it, whoever has it. It's the equivalent of a regular healing potion, which is a 2d4 plus 2 of mana points.
Yeah. I don't know what a mana is. Do I? I I mean, we deal with that in Azari? Do we have mana?
You're familiar with possibilities of other casters using something similar to this.
Hmm.
Um, you're not really aware because of your background dealt with more of just the inventive nature as
Right.
opposed to just the mystics.
Right.
But you're aware of like certain mystics that would use certain things to like either enhance or replenish themselves.
I mean, this is interesting, but I don't see any use for me. You take it. You seem like you're the more fragile one of the group.
I might surprise you. I believe you would all be dead if it weren't for me.
It's true,
Of course it is.
if you say so.
You need to learn not to backtalk your elders. Now, let us proceed.
Theo just chuckles.
And I take a lead again.
I know I deal with that with Melly all the time.
May you What's your perception, May?
12.
Great, she's dead.
Yeah, I know. Who has the? I get mixed up with the. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong. Okay, never mind. 16. Passive perception or Theo. Sorry. Oh, a Mechanicus. You actually see it too. You in this part of the corridor, you notice that the ceiling's a bit higher. You did both of you notice like something in the shadows for a split second you noticed movement
What direction?
like further down. You saw movement like possible movement
Like
in
on
the,
the
in the
ceiling?
shadows
Or...
in the shadows of the in the ceiling.
In the ceiling.
I do not believe we are here alone.
Yes. I have the feeling as well. Did you see that?
No, I just randomly make statements like, of course I saw that.
Oh, man. Is there anything you can do to vet that out? He's not answering. I just kind of walk towards the,
Whenever you
in
ask
front
him,
of.
he pulls out his journal and he's kind of like bumping through it.
Can I shine the hooded lantern? Like,
It's a hooded lantern.
yeah.
Yes, go ahead and shine away. And as you do start shining it, you just see portions of the ceiling which looks like there's possible portions where it looks like it's un lost for words. It looks like weak
There's like
sections,
darkness,
like weak sections of the ceiling where it looks like parts of it's like protruding in, and looks like parts of it like are basically vulnerable to like cave-ins and stuff.
Oh,
Ceiling's unstable. I don't see anything, guys.
do we see like dust on like little?
You see occasional just little particles falling off.
I think you need to look at that book a little farther down the path here, old man. I don't think we could stand here much longer.
Mechanicus puts it back in his pack and starts walking forward. And he's got the he'll take the lead, and he's got the stick, his staff with the torch like held up.
All right.
As Mechanicus passes, I kind of shove Meliodas behind.
I'm gonna cut you.
It's okay.
All right. So you guys proceed through. Pushing through right now, as you can tell, it's a dimly lit corridor. You begin to notice the progression of what looks like webbing. Certain parts of it just looks like you could see the webbing kind of just like flowing through like these like the small drift of airs. You could see like some of them kind of like swaying. How light webbing could be. You start getting the faint smell of rot. And about 20 feet, you see laying on the floor in front of you, 20 feet, sprawled on its back, what looks like a humanoid figure. Dressed in the likes of the explorers at camp.
Is its chest moving or its abdomen at all? Like it's
In 20 feet, you don't see any movement. You see behind him about like 10 feet or so, you see on the cobbled floor, which looks like portions in the dim light. Looks like portions of in dim light. Looks like there's really darkened. behind him, gaps in dim light.
Mechanicus like stops and looks around for a baseball-sized rock. And if he sees one, he's, Meliodas, hand me that.
I hand it over.
So Mechanicus has this baseball-sized rock, and you see him kind of wipes it on his shirt a little bit, and he throws it and hits the corpse with it, or the body with it. See if they win.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity check with that. 20 feet from you.
19.
Nice.
You throw it.
Good throw.
See the body just stays there. Dust kicked up a little bit.
Either they are dead or very, very hard sleeper. Perhaps one of you young, spry gentlemen would like to go and investigate them.
I look at.
I got
Meliodas.
this.
Got it.
Good.
I knew you could
So-
do it. I give him a little shove. Come on. It's for your own good.
So I kind of hold the lantern in one hand, grab the dagger in the next hand, and then as soon as I get close enough, I just stab it in the chest.
What?
Yeah.
As you get closer, you notice visibly in the dark, in the really dim light above, you can make out, looks like large amount of like webbing now. Like the webbing is kind of all over the place. You see what looks like cocooned shapes dangling, like very still.
Can I make a perception check as I look up?
I did that with your passive action.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So as he's looking up, I'll look back at Theo and says, "There's cocoons up there. I think they're spiders, big ones."
Well, I show him my gun. I'm like, tell the spiders to bring it on.
He shakes his head.
It will be all right. Just, it's the girl. Can you take the girl?
Oh, what's the gender as I'm closing in?
You see a bearded man.
Oh,
What girl?
Yeah.
oh, I didn't see the beard.
So, am I close enough to tell if it's dead or?
Yeah, as you approach the body, you see a long diagonal slash running from his neck all the way down to like his armpit, kind of going across. It looks like a slash going through it. As you get closer, you can see it clutched in his hand. You see a small, like looks like a small like folio, with like scattered pages, like kind of sticking out like within the folio itself. And about 5 feet from him, you see a blood-soaked dagger, exactly like the ones you saw from the in Marauders, like that punch dagger.
Oh. Can I try to pry the folio from his hands and see what it says, or make
Sure.
out any legible mark?
As you start to like grab like the folio, you start hearing a tapping, clicking sound. As you look up, you see partial face of a lifeless marauder who is wrapped in what looks like a web-like cocoon. You watch as the cocoon slowly begins. On the other side, hanging from it, revealing a large dark shadow. A pair of eyes, and another set. And then another set right behind it, reflecting the light right back at you. And a green aura starts to emanate from his sternum. As you see the aware presence of like a large spider hanging off this cocoon. And we're gonna be rolling initiative.
Shoot, damn it!
Hold on 1 second, guys.
Shoot her! Alright, click on my guy.
Yeah, let's do this really quick. Hold on a second.
How
So-
did you get the thing?
Say again, dude.
Did you get that thing from Ray
What thing?
for the quick initiative?
Oh no, I've not gotten that.
Oh my god.
Good, get it. I'm gonna start
Yes.
combat music because that's where we're about to begin, guys. Give me 1 second before. Where is it?
Mortal Kombat!
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Boom, boom, boom,
God, Sunscape's taking so long. All right. Oh, you guys already rolled. I didn't notice. Give me 1 second. So, the marching order was Theo. You were behind him, right?
Well, I was behind Meliodas.
Right.
but-
Go ahead and
yeah,
fix your order. I didn't do it here.
Theo was behind Mechanicus.
I just know I'm at the very back.
Okay. All right. Second, guys.
This is a nice track. You give it to me?
Say again.
This track did you download it or is it part of Sirenscape?
I don't remember. Shit, dude. So sorry. All right, that's where I was. Okay.
Guy.
It's doing it again, man. What the fuck? All right, now it's working. Remember I had that issue where when I click on something, it didn't give me all the stuff that happened last time. All right. All right. There we go. Holy shit, that's some fucking good rolls on my
Except for me.
end.
Oh shit.
That means Meliodas is dead. It was fun, Ray. You're gonna have to start playing Hellscream.
Wait, the spiders got good rolls? Is that what it?
Yeah.
Oh crap! Yeah, I'm dead.
All right, that one and that one. Oh my god. All right, cool. So, top of the order, 22. I have two of them with 22s. This one and this one. So at top of the order. All right, so this one, boom. This one. As you see, these two.
How many we're dealing with here? Ah!
It's so pretty.
As you see these spiders with what looks like a faint green aura coming from their sternum, very similar to that glowing live Mikra. This one comes from the ceiling as it jumps down, Meliodas. Right next to you as it rears itself, and you see its legs as it come towards you to attack with a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
As you take 4 piercing damage and 1 poison damage as it rears and dips its fangs towards you. The next one over here, as it starts rushing over, which fires a web comes out from its mouth. 17 to attack.
That hits.
That hits. As you feel the substance kind of just meld over you, and as soon as you look down, you feel yourself restrained at this point. What's this? As an action, okay. Target is restrained by webbing as an action. The restrained target can make a dice check of 12 strength burst out of it.
Is that immediately or not on my turn?
That is what I'm trying to find out. This is an action. Restrained target can make a strength check. It says as an action, so that must be your turn. All right. And that is now it's your go.
Alright, we're gonna try to bust out of it.
All right, go ahead.
Strength check, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not strong.
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
perfect.
cool.
A 12 as you look down and you're like, oh. You start ripping parts of the webs as you see that spider that shot you starting to scuttle towards you. That was an action. So what are you gonna do now? You have your bonus or
Bonus
movement.
action?
Bonus and movement you still have.
Can I do offhand?
No, you cannot. You cannot do an offhand unless you do use an action
Okay.
attack.
Dodge.
I'm going to use my cunning action to disengage
All right.
and then move farther away.
Go ahead and make your movement.
To there.
Okay, so as you start walking and moving, you notice closer you getting towards that corridor, you notice the holes, this gap in the ground.
So
And you're like, oh, nope, not there. So you can move like around it. Like right there's fine.
Okay.
But you're right next to that that one that just sprayed you.
Here? Is that good?
Yeah, like right now you're not adjacent to it. That's what you're asking.
Yeah. There you go. I didn't see that. And enter.
And in turn. All right. Next is May. You see two spiders that start attacking Meliodas.
Alright, I'm gonna pull out my short sword and charge.
All right.
Punch it, girl. Punch it.
Then I'm going to burn a key. Bonus action was that unarmed strike, but I'm gonna burn a key and do
What were your attacks?
I did a 9 on my short sword,
Uh-huh.
and then bonus action unarmed strike for
Okay.
an 11.
11 hits as you walk up towards it with an 11 for the what was it? It's an unarmed strike, whichever way you want to attack it.
And then I'm gonna do burn a key point to do flurry of blows
All right.
for another 9 and a 16 to hit.
All right, awesome. So yeah, you just walk up, you start rushing towards it. You swing your blade. The spider was kind of nimble enough just to kind of see that attack coming, and then followed by a kick and like other blows, which managed to damage it. And this with the last hit, what was it? 7 damage as you just punt it, and you see just kind of just tumble over and going right into that hole right behind it. That one is gone. And that's the end of your turn.
And then I'm going to take the rest of my movement speed and come up to here.
Right.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right. Next up, Jillian.
Oh my god. Ultra blast. Pew pew.
As
It
you
scared me.
as you do your little tune, how do you do your Eldritch Blast? Explain this. I want to visually like see how Jillian does it.
Finger guns.
Finger guns, pew, pew. All right, awesome. As you point at it with your finger guns like a little kid would at a playground, pew, and just
I am a little kid.
blast come out. Eldritch Blast. Which one you said you were hitting? Oh yeah, the one
the
that was.
closest one.
Yeah,
Only
this one right here, right? You guys think there's only.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
For
It's
how
more
much
than-
damage? For 1 force damage, as it just poof, as you see, kind of repel for a quick second, and then just rears up and looks like it's about to attack. Which looks like it's probably towards May or something. That's gonna be the end of your turn.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is this one here. 13.
Uh-oh.
As it starts scattering, skittling towards Meliodas. As Meliodas tries to avoid the other spiders, this one just runs up towards you, and once again tries to take a nibble at your leg. For an 8 to attack.
8.
Yes.
Miss.
As it rears up and tries to claw you, you see it coming from a good distance. You just avoid the attack, and that's gonna be the end of that turn. Next up will be Mechanicus.
Seeing these spiders come out, like he's actually looking around and trying to like use the torch on the end of his quarterstaff to like try to see if there's any more up there, or if there's another.
Okay, you just want to see if there's any more coming towards you. Go ahead and
he's
roll.
trying to like see if like there's more fixing to drop down on people.
Right. Go ahead and roll a perception check with advantage as you're just kind of waving that flame around.
20.
A 20. Yeah. So as you do that, you see one right above you, Theo and Jillian, like between you, and you see kind of like its eyes reflecting from the flame, and it looks like it's about to pounce towards you guys.
You two may want to move. And he's going to like walk over here.
I'm gonna close it, being that you already saw it. This is in the ceiling, by the way, so it's not like on you.
Then he would walk over here.
yeah, exactly. But it's it's about it's basically like a good it's still like a good 30 feet from you because of how tall the ceiling is.
Gotcha.
Like if
Well,
when you were
he's
here.
walking away, he's like, "You may want to move," and he's kind of like motioning up to the spider so that Theo and Jillian. And then that's my turn.
All right.
I see it.
And Theo, that brings you.
All right. Seeing these two. I already had my eyes set up on these two here, so I'm actually going to with the Q here. There you go. Come up to here, and I'm going to. Can I try jumping over the spider to here?
I don't see where you're pointing at.
I can go here. Oh, you can't see it.
Yeah, I don't see what you're doing. Yeah, you're gonna have to
All
like
right.
use an arrow or something.
So I came here, and then I kind of wanted to jump over it.
Okay,
with
yeah.
my
So yeah,
scimitar.
you So you're just gonna do like an agile move, like kind of just. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very low. It's very short. It's
Yeah.
basically
So-
like a little over 2 feet in height. From
Awesome.
being it's low to the ground.
So I'm kind of jumping over to flank it and hitting with my scimitar, and
Okay.
I should hopefully get advantage with that.
With your scimitar.
Yeah.
Yes, you.
That's my action. Oh, that was not advantage.
Yeah.
Or
You know what?
Can I get advantage?
You are in a good. Yeah. You know what? You are a good spot. I'd say you would get advantage from that for sure. 21 to hit. Yes, you do get it.
So I did kind of like a jumping, like slashing me in between my legs, and then as I landed, I just pivot, and with my offhand, I shoot my trusty gun right on the thorax for 14. Oh.
For 14 to hit, yes. As you manage to slice one of his legs off, and with the gun, with a quick draw, you just blast it right in the center of it. As you see basically the center portion of the thorax with the green thing it turns from green to like a purplish color, like underneath, as it just kind of disintegrates right under it.
Beautiful.
And that one is gone.
And that, my friends, is the beauty of death.
And that's gonna be the end of your turn.
Yes.
All right. Next up is this one. As this one, as it's crawling on the wall, as it sees Theo at this point just going after one of its brethren.
Clever girl.
And it manages to crawl down and rush towards you, trying to take a bite out of you. For a 7 to attack.
It misses.
As it misses. That's going to be the end of that turn. And then this one's next, as it starts to move towards you, Jillian. And you're basically like maybe like a good half a foot taller than it. As you see this giant spider to your eyes. For 13 to attack, as it tries to bite down on you.
My armor class is 13.
As you take 5 piercing damage, and 7 poison.
Ooh, poison.
And that's going to be the end of that one's turn. Next up is the one that got killed.
Wait.
Say again?
Wait.
What happened?
She has something.
You got.
Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, snap. As it bites down on you, and you just glare at it. Fiery eyes. Whoever's looking at Jillian, her eyes just went for like a glowing ember for a quick second, as the spider just engulfs in flames. And it just starts scuttling. You see its leg kind of just like shaking. It's on its back, shaking and roasting in place as it dies.
Whoa.
Kind of like kick at it a little.
Back to the top of the order. Excuse me. Meliodas.
Alright, going in and throw a rapier to this dude. 16.
16 to hit. Right? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. 16 to hit. I'm just looking at the wrong thing. Sneak attack 10 and 4 piercing damage as you carve right through its torso. You see like basically just break in half. As half of the other portion is like trying to run away, as it noticed it just received damage, and it just starts slowly just dying off as you see it just kind of go upside down. Legs stop moving.
Curls up in a ball.
Yeah, out of the fight. That one is.
I'm sorry, what am I supposed to roll again for spell casting? I'm sorry.
Roll a d10.
D10?
Yes.
Crap, I'm trying to get to. Can I move through the spider since it's dead?
You could jump. You can easily just jump over that.
Alright, so I'm gonna try to move to engage this spider with.
Jillian, remember, you know what? Just put in your notes. Put 1 point. Put 1 point from chaotic surge.
Am I able to do an offhand attack on this?
Yes,
creature as
since
it's
you have
creature?
you made an attack, you can do an offhand on that.
Alright. To that. Theo's good looks distracted me.
as it does. Whoa, Theo! And then you just totally just swing and miss at that spider. So nimble anyway, low to the ground. That's gonna be the end of your turn.
Yep.
All right. As you finish,
Seeing May, like, Theo extends his
hold on, May,
hand
before
over.
you do anything.
Oh, he extends his hands like, there, do it the Arashi way.
So yeah, May's supposed to be next, but right before the turn order,
Oh.
Theo, you see this large legs start coming out of the hole right next to you as you see the spider, about like 3 times your size, start coming out. And the first thing it does as it sees you, it just starts to try to grapple you around and tries to sink its fangs towards you.
Ah!
That's what you get for pushing me.
For
Oh.
or a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits me.
As you take
Theo,
11.
Man, I'm gonna change it to a 7.
Oh, okay. As
I duck.
Mechanicus, you see this play out in your head where this giant spider just like wraps around parts of its legs, and you see the fangs just sink right into like Theo's neck, and then you just rewind it in your mind as it just, and you basically warn him as you tell him to duck, and as you do, the fang just barely goes towards him. And that's gonna be its attack and action. The spider's spot right here, right now, actually, right next to its other little one, spiderling. And that's gonna be the end of its turn. May, you're up as you see this giant hulking spider. I mean, you know, like the size of a horse at this point.
Oh, lovely. Going to
Oh shit! What
come
I
up
do?
to here.
I do that. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh God. Crit fail 6 with my
Oh,
short
no.
sword.
Okay. With a critical fail, you can go ahead and swing down, and your sword slips down in your hand as you see the sword just slides like right at your feet, and you're like, oh, crap. And you still have an attack after that, right?
Yeah. Bonus action unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike. A
12 hit.
12 hits, and for a 6. As
666.
I know, right? As you punch through it, and it just like stunned for a quick second, and then it just shakes it off, and it looks like it's about to attack
Gonna burn
Meliodas.
burn another key and flurry of
Flurry of blows. As you continue on with the onslaught, 8 misses. As the 21, you just come down with like a heel kick as you just flatten it as it dies with a 7 bludgeoning damage. this one. Dead.
Then I'm going to hop over this guy and come behind this spider.
All right.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right. As you go behind it, you just see the spider just kind of like now in defensive mode. It's like you see the legs like looking at you. Looks back at Theo. Looks at Meliodas. It's like, the fuck am I gonna do now? It's like trying to figure out what's gonna do its next move. Jillian, you're up next as you see your companions.
So I'm gonna run up, not all the way, because I have tiny legs. And I'm gonna shout out, "Yo, spider! That green's so last." And hit it with some vicious mockery.
Okay. Does it work with creatures? Creatures you see range like with low. Does it say anything about a low intelligence?
Intelligence?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
If it's
No.
lower than like 3, I think you can't really understand it.
Yeah, it just kind of just, you see its like little spider head just like shake. You see all the 6 eyes kind of like just blink, trying to figure out what you were trying to do. Go ahead and roll another d10, by the way, Jillian.
Dum dum. Oh, even for cantrip?
Yeah.
Oh hell.
Oh hell. Don't
Yeah,
roll 1.
Don't roll a 1.
You good? And that's gonna be the end of your turn.
Yes.
All right. Next up, Mechanicus, as you see the new danger that had just arrived from the depths of the cavern.
Mechanicus like holds his stick out, twirls it a little bit, and mutters to himself. And a giant boot comes from the ceiling toward the spider using phantasm.
Oh shit! All right. Oh, excuse me. That one doesn't require the creature to have a certain intelligence as well, right?
It can make a intelligence save, I think.
No, I just want to know if creatures with low intelligence would affect it.
I don't know.
If it doesn't say it, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Target, action, examine, intelligence investigation. All target. No, it doesn't say it actually. No, it doesn't. It just perceives it. It just looks at the phantasma, whatever you create in the phantasma force. So it needs to do a what roll? What?
Intelligence save, DC 14.
14. That's gonna be rolled. Rolled a 15.
Oh.
It has a -4.
It's a smart spider.
It has a -4. I rolled a 19.
Wow.
Damn.
As it looks towards you, Mechanicus, and then it just brushes you off as it kind of looks at its new threat, which is May, Theo, and Meliodas. Go ahead and roll a d10 for me. Oh, you did. I'm sorry.
Okay.
A 5. Yeah, you're good. And that's gonna be the end of
He's
the turn.
going to make his way to here.
Okay.
And that's the end of this turn.
All right. Theo, you're up as you see this new threat arrive and barely sink its teeth into you. Its fangs,
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah, as he does, like, just when he missed, at this point, he just looks at it and it's all his eyes and just kind of yells and then spits in its face. He's like, it's gonna take more than that to take me down. And he swings the scimitar up towards the legs.
All right.
And he has advantage, so here we go. 22.
Nice.
22 hits.
8 slashing.
As you slash your scimitar through it, part of its leg as it screeches.
And then as soon as I do that motion, I just kind of yield up with my my trusty gun and shoot towards his eyes. And that's a 21. Using with that hit, I'm gonna use one of my grip points and shoot it in its eyes, and it flips over, doing a winging shot. So he's prone.
Upland moving target. Normal damage. It must make a strength saving throw or be knocked prone. What's your DC?
That would be.
I just rolled an 18.
Yeah, I think that beats it. 15. I
Okay,
think
yeah,
it's
as you shoot it like right at its head, looks like it took some massive damage from that fire shot. As you see flames kind of just like come out for a quick second and then just kind of go away as it just you hear it screech from the pain as it just kind of twitches from it, and it just you see all the eyes shine real quick and start looking towards you.
Well, it was worth a try, and I spit again.
You just put out a little bit of the fire that's on him, and that's gonna be the end of your turn, right?
That's the end of my turn.
All right. Meliodas.
Coming in with the rapier. 23.
Nice.
I think you're out of range by like 5 feet. The spider that's in front of you, yeah, it's basically it.
Move 5 feet.
Uh,
On its back.
yeah. 23 hits, and for what is that? 13. Yeah, explain how you massacred the giant spider.
So as I'm going forward, I kind of like cue ball the rapier.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Like I cue the rapier in my hands, like a cue stick, and as I'm rushing forward.
Nice.
Book. All 6 eyes. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Right through it.
Yeah, as you just and you just hear like splattering of blood like all over your hand. Some of the blood is like a little bit of web coming out with it too, and you just pull out and just crumples. Like you see all the legs kind of twitch, and it just falls into itself.
It's dead.
You see no movement after it falls.
I kick it into the hole.
I high five me and
As you
Spit
yeah,
into the hole.
I know, right? As you finish off the larger beast, Meliodas, as it falls and crumples on its sternum, you see the glowing green falls off what looks like a gem, like right off the floor.
Obviously, that happens before I kick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick it up, and then when battle ends, I'll have Mechanicus. Battle did end, right?
Battle just ended.
All right, so I'll take it over to Mechanicus. Found this on the spider.
Let me see it. No. He picks it up and he's like twirling around in his hand, looking at it. Now, did any gems fall out of the little spiders, or just?
Go ahead and make your you know what? Just everyone that's gonna be looting or trying to loot something, you don't find anything. You didn't see anything fall off of them.
Okay. And now, is this gem still glowing?
It's not glowing. It was glowing when it was like alive. There's nothing glowing now. Yeah.
What can I tell about it? It's the same stuff that was outside.
It doesn't look like the Mikra, if that's what you're asking. I don't know if I've even explained to you what Mikra is. I don't know if Mechanicus had even. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back to my notes here after this. Okay.
Well, yeah, you explained it because it was outside in the front.
I think I explained a little bit of what May was doing.
Because I was looking at it.
Yeah, you were looking at it, which you already know about it. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so you look at the it's a gem. It's like the gem is like the size of your palm. Um, it has a green tint to it, but it's not. It's unlike the Mikra. It's not similar in just in the way it looks like it's cut. It looks like it has an actual um, ridges in cut like it belongs somewhere.
Oh,
Does it look like?
It looks like possibly like the cut even like was even embedded into the spider itself. Like as you look at the spider, if it's still there, got kicked out.
Does
Holy
it look
shit!
like it might be
What do you
worth
mean?
1,000 gold? Maybe a
You definitely think it could be worth something. I'd say probably the person that would figure out like more of the appraisal stuff is probably the rogue.
oh, come on, this is the
can I praise it while he's holding
Yeah,
it?
go ahead and roll the. Go ahead and roll the intelligence check.
16.
Yeah, you think it'd probably be pretty nice. Thing like you could just like given your history, you probably would like make up some backstory to this thing and like probably have it sold for a good hefty price if you went to the proper people.
I could sell it if it ain't magical.
What I'm not
I gotta pay for
understanding
the
is it was glowing when it was inside of it, so it's apparently being maybe powered by the spider. Perhaps it was powering the spider, but whatever it is, it seems like perhaps life force, if that's what we would call it, interacts with it in some way.
When he says that, um, if I look at one of the spiders, the smaller ones at least, or the big one's still there, do do can I tell if these are constructs?
Go ahead and make an investigation check with an advantage.
Advantage. Do it, baby. 14.
These look like they were. These look like they were designed, but still in the organic state. Like they
Hmm.
don't look like normal spiders. They look like they have like certain aspects of like
Embellishments.
they were put together.
Yeah. Modifications.
Can I go back to the corpse and get that folio?
Yeah. So you go ahead and walk over towards the corpse just laying down there.
As he does that, I talk to Mechanicus. I think you're onto something. These creatures don't seem to be. Uh,
Alive.
yes, alive. They seem to be empowered by this gem, but they're modified creatures of some sort.
Meliodas.
But if they're powered by the gem, how is it? Because it seems ordinary, and how. And he's like looking back and forth between the spider and the gem, like trying to put two and two together.
Perhaps the magic involved solely requires the quality of the gem. I'm not quite so sure, but it's very fascinating.
I want to cast detect magic on the gem.
Okay. Go ahead and roll d10. Mechanicus, write down you have 1 point on your chaos, and like you know, um, you pick up immediately around you. First of all, certain other aspects of Aura, but the gem looks inert. There's no aura coming.
There's no aura coming from this gem, but there's one all around.
You see next to you with the Mikra pillar or the Mikra stalagmite that's like against the wall. You see the flicker, and you see the sconces immediately like in front of you, archway and the steps. You do see like faint glow coming from these guys here.
Just him?
Sorry?
It's just him, though. Right?
Yeah, yeah. He did cast
Yeah.
something that allows him to see.
Gotcha.
It's like this here. He points to the Mikra. It's got kind of a flicker, some kind of essence inside of it or something. And those sconces, and he points toward them. They've got a faint. Can I tell what kind of magic is coming from it?
I'm sorry, from where?
From like the Mikra and the sconces?
Yes, the Mikra is every time you see the flicker, it glows bright hot. In the sense of like what type of magic you're looking at. It's like if everything put together makes this bright hot color. All forms of nature.
Whenever it does that, Mechanicus wants to put his hand to the Mikra and try to unite with it the way he did with the little box.
Okay. Yeah, you go up to it. You put your hand in it. You feel the sense of the just when it happens. It's not happening constantly, but when it does happen, you that one flick of a moment, you feel the arcane energy coming from it, but it doesn't seem to be giving off like the box did. The box was what you would assume was designed to broadcast. Like to broadcast for like to invite whoever touches it to do it or whatever, to link with it essentially.
He's gonna, seeing that that's the case, he wants to go and investigate the sconces.
Okay. Make a history check.
21.
Okay.
I got a +8 in history.
Yeah.
He's old.
So I don't know.
There.
I don't know how much I've explained the Mikra, the history behind it. For you at least. So Mikra is what you know as an organic crystalline material that can be found like all over Adenau. And usually they found growing out of the ground like veins. Sometimes they are found giving off like a faint glow. Like the way you're seeing it here. But no one has come, like no one's seen it really happen. Excuse me, no one's seen it happen here, within the kingdoms. Where you've managed to find Mikra, like in logistics and in recordings that you have encountered. Generally, they've been places where everybody's found them has been closer to these ruins, for some reason. Not to say that they're not anywhere else, but the ruins have been a definite hallmark of where a lot of people, others that recorded things and annotated stuff in history have noticed.
Gotcha.
No one at this point, no one really has an understanding of like geological reason behind why they illuminate or anything. But there's theories. One theory believe that is that the stones were like a gift from like the gods a long time ago, and their connections to the and then thus
Gotcha.
resulting into like various cultures and like what they worship them in highly dense locations that have like a huge growth or where they come out in massive veins. And there are also other theories I believe that they are interconnected. It's like another huge theory that people haven't really debunked, but that they're interconnected like a giant network all over Eden. um like I said, it's still unproven. Like that's pretty much what you've read in theories. And due to its ease to carve, it's like nothing that you know about them because they're not unique in the sense of like no one knows what no one doesn't know about them. They're kind of culture within certain popular within certain cultures, where they use micro as like a semi precious stone. Like sometimes they use it for like jewelry, and like what you've noticed in writings, the Arcasians like mastered the use of it and they cultivate it and shaping it in all sorts of different uses. But it's been like a huge hallmark in the ancients' culture.
Does with touching it and everything, does it feel like it's alive?
What you would sense of what you would think energy is like the life of, you when you feel that faintness, feel like maybe there's some sort of life to it when it happens.
Like a sentience?
Not really sentient. It's more along the lines of like it's kind of like a pulse.
Gotcha. So, feeling that, my Amicus is um gonna walk and investigate the sconces and the aura coming.
All right. Anyone else? What they're going to be doing at this point? As you kind of at this point exploring the the immediate area.
I'm I'm just going forward and looking at the archway here, seeing looking both sides there, just kind of scouting.
Okay.
Um, is there anything written in the folio?
Right. I'm sorry. I got distracted. In the folio, so you pick it up and you open it up and you find torn several in several places. You see dark, like a dark stains, like what you would imagine would be like dried blood on certain areas of it. uh, as you flip through it, um, you see one of the later entries still looks legible. Some of the other stuff it looks like it's been stained enough where you really can't make out most of the stuff. Um, as you look at it, this is what it reads. It says, "I can't believe." You know what? I'm just gonna put it down. Yeah, what you guys say? Easier, and you can just read it out to the guys as you find this folio.
So, what does it say?
So that gem is supposedly genuine artifact of Ark'Azia, and it could lead you to treasure, according to this guy's journal post.
Does he have an artifact on him?
He said it was some kind of gem. Looks too Mechanicus. Maybe that gem?
No. Can't be. That's from the spiders. There has to be something else that perhaps was taken from him.
So I'll look down back at the corpse. Is there anything else like a backpack or?
Yeah. So you go towards him. Immediately, the first thing you saw was just like the folio, and that dagger kind of like next to him. Um, and you start patting down, like kind of looking. A, um, you do see like a reddish gem.
Nice.
A little smaller than the other like gem that you have. It's more like an oval shape. The other one is like the green one you guys have. It's like almost the size like a little bit larger than a baseball. This one's like much more like a small lemon.
This must be the gem that.
Save it. It could probably give it to that sell it to that rich guy.
No, hold on. It might lead us to treasure. Let's just go exploring more.
It is treasure. Do you want more treasure?
Can't hurt.
Well, hold on to
Can
it.
it?
The right. Think we struck it.
So would you say it's like an opal?
It's kind of like the way it's shaped, sort of. Um, I-
I'll just put like red orb.
yeah,
Gem.
yeah, do something like that. And the rest of you,
Mechanicus is at the sconce looking at the aura
Right.
coming from it.
yeah, you
And he's
just
gonna take the green gem and sit it in it and see if it does.
like touch it, like touch the green gem with the sconce. Like the
he's
sconce
gonna,
itself
like,
has like a
sit it-
crystal. The crystal, it looks like a crystal at this point. It's not like really.
Oh.
It doesn't look like that same type
The
of stone.
crystals glowing.
Say again.
The crystals glow.
Yeah, it's basically like a crystal, like jammed into it, the sconce, and it has a glow. According to like what you're seeing, it's kind of like this whitish, like bluish white color.
So Mechanicus just sees that, looks at all the ones around, and as he walks forward, he just kind of holds the green gem over to Theo and gives it to him as he passes by.
Okay.
And he's gonna like actually start making his way deeper.
Theo shrugs and he puts it in his bag.
I make sure to grab my sword back, and then I join the rest.
Okay. Gillian.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just proceeding. I'm sorry.
All right. As you proceed, you see steps what leads to like a T-shaped intersection. To the right, you see a large arched door, and to the left, a passage that turns like into like out of sight. It's kind of like a bend where kind of you can't see where it leads to. Out of the which direction shall you take?
Mechanicus is gonna go up to the door.
Right. And the door is on this side of on this side of yeah, so there's a door here which you can't see. And it's a large stone door. It looks like it has the same type of like gold inlays that you saw previously in the really well preserved parts of like the corridors that you were passing by before. In the middle sits what looks like an indent, what looks like something to be placed in there.
Does it look like the gem would fit?
Yes, it does.
Theo, my boy, bring that gem here and see if you can stick it in this hole.
Ah,
She said.
seems to be used. That's what she said. Ah. He takes the green orb and he places it at the door.
As you do so, you just so parts of like what you're holding, there's like the at the end of it, it has like these grooves all around within the stone. As you push through it, you hear a like a rumbling as the door, this arch door, just sits down, boom, and it starts rolling, like into the ground, like going like down.
Oh,
As
that
it,
is just happening. He's like trying to get it. Oh, I wanted it back. Oh, don't. Damn it.
Great, we lost 1,000 gold pieces. He
as
kind of says that, like grumbling.
you guys open the door to the next portion.
Well, you wanted to find more treasure.
Mechanicus is gonna wander forward, just like looking around, taking everything in.
Okay, what the rest of you guys doing?
As he's walking, though, Theo's reloading his gun.
As you
And
look at
it
that, if you looked at the revolver, by the way, Theo, you do have 6 rounds in it that have not been fired.
Special
Good to
release.
know. All right. Yeah.
As they're heading that way, can I move up to here and kind of just like peek around the corner?
Sure, you can go Yahoo movement, and everybody else, what they're doing?
I'm gonna actually follow Theo and Mechanicus.
Mechanicus and Theo, they're Mechanicus has kind of wandered on his own. Theo at this point is kind of just like we
Well,
see reloading.
Yeah, I'm like kind of walking and reloading
Okay.
my gun.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go in their direction.
All right. Okay. Mechanicus, as you enter this portion of the corridor. Damn stuff. You enter what looks like a long corridor lit by stationary crystals, as you've pretty much been seeing like the trend within the ruins. You see 3 other doors, not including the one you just came from, each with the same stone partitions. They all look very much like the other one you just opened. They all look like they're all ready to receive, basically a stone or maybe another nature of key, perhaps that's similar to the other one. Which you see the one door here. I don't know if you can see.
No.
Can't.
There's one door here. There's another door here, and there's another door right across from you, right here. You see that? Oh, I'm in the wrong freaking section. There's one here, and there's one here.
I saw the second one and the third one, not the first one.
Do it again. There's one right across from Mechanicus.
Okay.
There's one over here, and there's one over here.
All right, Mechanicus is going to slowly walk.
Okay. And further down, as you look down past the doors, you see what looks like a large, they look like tiles on the floor, like in a 5x5 manner, like in a formation. Each one is about like maybe 4 feet wide, with decorative, unique symbols on them. As you look at the symbols, each one looks like it's probably made of like some sort of brass or copper. Like that gives you like that shine of that color. And at the 4 corners of the whole 5x5 formation stands a tall, stone-looking serpent with their mouths open, facing within.
Hmm. Okay.
Now this is quite interesting.
Uh, Back to Meliodas. You proceed to go through.
Stealthily.
All right, go ahead and roll stealth check.
Theo, at this point, I think he's like in his corners, I just noticed that Meliodas is now with the group, and he's kind of paused at the door, looking back.
All right, go ahead, Melly. What'd you roll?
11.
An 11. You are confident in your stalking skills. Go ahead and you walk through your full movement and you reach a small corridor. I'm sorry, a small chamber. You see where is the damn thing I had it somewhere? Where is it? You see what looks like the remains of a campsite. You see a thick layer of dust cover like majority of the site. You give the sense of that this been here for a long time. You see a couple of bedrolls and small crates, like kind of all over, kind of scattered around.
Before.
And
Go
at
ahead.
I'm sorry, and at the base of the wall, you see what looks like um like a natural crystals, kind of just outgrowing at the very base of the wall, all the way to the end.
Oh, I see it. This thing right here.
Yeah, just you see just crystals coming out. Unlike, it's not like the Mikra. It's just kind of just regular crystals. Looks like a natural growth.
Oh, snap.
Excuse me.
He gets kind of excited, but will approach cautiously. And as he's approaching, can I do a perception check to see if anything's off?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll a perception check. Um, so as you get closer to those crystals, you see floating around. Not not necessarily dark, but they have like a dark earthy tone. Uh, Small little essence that has like a translucentness towards them, kind of floating around. You see them uh, dancing around the rocky wall.
Do I perceive them as like threatening or just?
They look very much like the rot echoes in nature. Not similar, but in nature of what you guys encountered outside in the camp. You see,
His grease gonna get the best of it.
you can see their crystal-like features. It's like earthy crystallized features that you can see them floating around, but not. They don't look like hard, in the sense of like they look like it's like they look like crystals, but they look like they can like rippling like water, as they twinkle around. You see the light pass through them with their translucent forms.
I'm gonna move closer.
Okay. And what do you plan on doing?
Checking out the crystals.
Okay, yeah, you go up to it. You don't, like I said, you just see the crystals. You see these little creatures. You remember that Theo was calling perhaps these creatures echoes, and they pretty much resemble exactly what you were like encountering when you were in camp.
So I'm gonna yell down the corridor, um, "Hey, there's some echoes here!" Does anybody hear me?
All right. And as you guys proceed through that part of the corridor, you hear Meliodas call out. What the rest of you gonna do at this point? Now you guys are exploring with Mechanicus, or is he going in by himself?
He's just standing in this room by himself right now.
Okay.
I would actually stand into this room, just looking around, kind of keeping an eye on my Canicus and everyone.
All right.
Hearing Meliodas kind of yelling about the echoes, it's okay. I'm coming. I'm coming. And I kind of just make my way over to Meliodas.
All right.
By the way, Chris.
Yes.
Is it just me, or is when I approached closer, the thing got brighter? Did you do that?
No.
It must be just me.
You know what? I have there is lighting. Like you guys have like a certain distance of lighting.
Oh, nice.
I gave you guys like a large range because of just the dim lights that's all over. That's why.
What's the matter?
Does he see the floating?
Yeah, you see the echoes right away, Theo. You noticed them right away as Earth echoes.
Earth?
Yeah, Earth echoes as they usually found like in natural occurring like parts of of rock formations, or in this case you see the natural crystalline crystals forming at the base of the rock.
Oh, it's just probably because we're underground, but it's nothing to be worried about.
Right.
Theo, you see of course like the ruined camp here, but it looks like there's like crates and other essentials that are kind of like look like for like excavation purposes perhaps.
Is there a pickaxe nearby?
Say again?
Yeah.
Pickaxe or chisel?
Yeah, you rummage through the stuff and you see you find a mace, like a weapon, like a shoddy mace. You do find a torch. You do find 2 bedrolls that are still usable, like still be able to use. A hammer as well, and you also find within it what looks like a key, and at the base, at the very end, not at the blade, but at the base where you hold the key, looks like there's a piece of mikra like embedded into it.
I grab that and very firm. I look at Meliodas is like, this is a special key.
Yeah. He's just rummaging around as he's replying. Yeah, it's a nice key. I'll grab the bedrolls. I'll grab the hammer and try to take chunks of the crystals if possible.
All right, cool. Just right. Just right off, because they're just kind of easy to pick off. You just right off, like you got 3 solid crystal. We'll just say crystal piece now.
Okay.
Make sure you write in notes like where you got it from. And
is this the Rune of Thine?
Yes, the Rune of Thine. Thyne. And the rest of you, the other 3, Mechanicus, I know you kind of like taking in like this area.
Come with it. We must go to the others.
I move up closer to my Canicus to see this floor.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just staying with those 2.
And you get in there, you notice the tiles, this portion of the the corridor, which has strategically placed tiles to proceed through what looks like a long platform. As you look towards like the platform and you look beyond it, you could see that the platform, beyond like to the side of it, looks like there's a deep fall that just goes into nothing, into darkness.
Huh.
Do the symbols mean anything to me?
You look at the symbols and it's nothing you've seen before. Nothing that came that was once written in a book or anything. It's out of your reach.
Hmm.
Have I seen anything like that in my travels?
Negative.
Well, has anyone in in this group?
Is
Negative.
it something that I've seen with?
If everyone asks, yep, nobody has. Nobody's seen
Okay.
it.
Nobody's fine. Okay.
Do they look like pressure plates from where we're standing?
You may go ahead and perhaps like investigate.
All right. Want me to roll investigation?
You know what? Yeah, go ahead and roll a
10?
You looking at it and you really can't tell if there's like any mechanism that would provide that this might be pressure plate. Oh, kind of unsure.
Can I very quickly step on this one and step off again?
Sure. Roll dexterity. Save.
Crap.
What are you doing?
Taking one for the team. Saving throw, right?
Yep.
22.
I like run behind him just in case.
You put your foot forward and like put enough pressure as you put your foot down and you feel like clink. Pressure plate comes down. Everything glows for a split second, and a fireball erupts from these dragon-like stone statues. A giant fireball just erupts, taking over that whole area. Roll 8d8.
8d8.
Yes.
G8.
You take half that damage as
Jeez.
your leg gets singed for a split second.
Holy moly!
What are you doing, you stupid boy?
The funny thing is that it's just underneath half of his overall damage in one shot. It was almost a wound. As you just fall back and you just start putting out like part of your leg, as everyone else sees like Meliodas' leg just basically looks like half charred.
Oh, we know it's pressure plates. Ah.
So I'm gonna use Mage Hand to kind of push on each one of the front ones to see if any of the other ones
I
are pressure.
stand way back.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have ended it there. I should have had the
Yeah.
suspense of you probably dying, but we're gonna end tonight's session here. As Meliodas tend to his leg.
Meliodas look like he's in like a lot of pain.
He's got a
I'm
good
gonna
a good
before
portion.
we leave, I'm gonna cast Phantasmal Force on Meliodas and make him believe that his leg is like wrapped up in like gauzes and like ice and shit like that to soothe the burning.
All right.
Are you doing? Oh, okay.
Would you say if Mechanicus starts casting something on you, Meliodas, would you just accept it? You don't know what he's casting.
Hell no.
Go ahead and
I've
make.
seen what he can cast.
Go ahead and make it dice check.
It's like, wait, no.
What is it? A con? Or no, intelligence. I'm sorry. Go ahead and roll an intelligence save. Oh
11.
nope.
Fails.
I think you failed. So you are.
I'm just expecting the worst right now.
You feel alright. You feel alright though. You think he healed you.
Yeah, all
It
of a
feels
sudden,
good.
Like, all of a sudden, you look down at your leg, and you see like gauzes wrapped around your leg, and like there's healing salve on it, and there's ice all around it, cooling the.
Feels great. When you get up though, you just still can't avoid that limp for whatever reason. But you feel great.
Yeah, it
feel
follows you
great.
around on your leg.
Thanks. I thought you were gonna. Man, this is great.
We'll pick this up in another 2 weeks, guys.
Is his leg like horribly burnt? But he can't.
Put it this way. Part of the pants is missing.
Oh no.
Like knee height or thigh?
Like-
thigh
How
height?
much do
like-
you have?
Like it's almost to the hip. Almost to the hip. You see tattered parts like missing all the way down to your foot.
I'm good. I just can't cut myself anymore.
How much health does Meliodas have?
Like altogether,
Yeah.
37.
Holy fuck! Are all of y'all up
Oh,
there?
what a
Yeah, everyone's level 4. You should be like somewhere good.
I have
Yay.
27.
I have 34.
I got 22. And I made another session without taking damage.
I know, you got so lucky that freaking spider was about to pounce on you, man.
Yeah, that spider was gonna have to beat a roll change plus shield.
All right.